To develop self-growth and self-development on a daily, your feelings must be checked. Your feelings have to be checked so that you can be more aware of your thoughts. You know, I read this book a couple years ago, 46 years old. I read this book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, and it helped me realize that I was not being aware of my thoughts. I was reacting to events that were happening. I would get frustrated by things that I couldn't control. And when it was written in his book, he said, surrender to the flow of life. I just had an awakening, and then I realized that you have to let go. You have to surrender, because you cannot control the flow of life. Things are going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's how you react to them. You know, it's been such a great journey, you know, trying to understand myself and how I react to these things. And through this self-discovery, I realized that I am in control of every action, in every result, in every behavior that I do. How I conduct myself daily is how I want to portray myself, my character. I don't want to disappoint myself. When I can't level up, or when I don't level up, because I always can, but when I don't level up, or if I blame others, or if I react differently, you know, to people, I have allowed them to control me emotionally, that is a sign of weakness. Weakness, you know. I've had such a struggle with violence all my life, anger, all my life, you know. I was always looking for validation from people that I didn't even care about, didn't even know. I remember one time, probably like a year ago, I was driving home. This guy was on a bicycle, you know, all dressed up in that Tour de France, you know, whatever. And he was in the middle of the road. He wouldn't pull over, and he kept kind of egging me on by slowing down. And then I passed him, and then he started, you know, talking shit, making whatever. I wasn't paying attention. Then I got stuck at a light, and I heard him, you know, constantly yelling at me, calling me an asshole, whatever it was. And, you know, at that moment, I jumped out of my truck, and I was running over to smash this guy's face in. And then I noticed the lady behind me had her phone out recording. And then I told the guy that he was very lucky. But I carried that karmic debt around with me for like almost a month. I kept thinking about how I wanted to just punch a hole in this guy's head, how I wanted to hurt him, punch his face in over something so ridiculous. And I gave him control over my emotions for months, for a month. And then the funny thing is, the reason why I'm telling you the story is because a couple weeks ago, I'm pulling out of my driveway and I see him drive by, and I waved. And I didn't even have that feeling of, oh, look, there's that guy, I want to go wreck him. You know, and that's the moment where I realize that if I get out of my own way, if I check my feelings daily, if I do the things that I admire daily and don't disappoint myself, I mean, it starts with baseline discipline. It starts with the baseline discipline, with getting up early when you don't want to, eating clean, sacrificing those meals, not giving in to your vices, F those snacks, and working out, putting in some intense exercise, meditation, breath work, reading some quotes that I can comprehend into my life that will motivate me, constantly feeding my mind positive affirmations, not running away from negativity, embracing it so I can change that into a positive situation through mindfulness, through the process that I develop every day, through the things that I do, the actions, acquiring the knowledge, reading that book, The Untethered Soul, and then taking that knowledge that I acquired it and putting it into my life and utilizing it. If you acquire knowledge and you don't use it, it's like not even having it. And that's the thing. It's always progressing forward. And it's like when life gets tough, life gets tough. Can't do the things you want to do. That's when you need to embrace it. That's when all the lessons are learned. I learn more from defeat and struggle than I do with accomplishing goals and having things go my way. I don't learn as much, but I find all my answers through my journey when I have to handle defeat and when I have to check my feelings and when things are not going the way I want them to go. This is how I have to reflect, and this is when I have to utilize the tools that I've learned so that I don't become a victim and I don't blame others. And I just do the right thing, which is be positive, be kind, and the people that are around me, my family, they're not learning my bad habits. They're not learning bad eating habits. They're not learning angry and bad violent habits. I don't get in a fight with my wife in front of my children, yelling and screaming, fighting with the woman that I say I love in front of my children. And then how do they react to that? They see me not acting like I say I'm going to. They see me showing them my weaknesses, and it doesn't even matter if I apologize to them. I've shown them that. I've shown them my weak behaviors. So that's why you nip that in the bud. And that's why when I, seldom, but when I do get into an argument with my wife, say, I don't hold a grudge. If she says something that hurts my feelings, I check them and I shut that anger, shut that door to the anger, close it shut. And then I go on to my day, my daily events. I don't dwell on it. I don't hold this grudge. Before I'd get in an argument with her and then I'd be moving out in my head. I'd be blah, 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 figuring out how much child support I'm going to pay. All this craziness, this narrative that was going on in my head because I couldn't control my thoughts and I would allow them to become my behaviors because I was weak and I never learned how to be that person. I can sit back now and I can realize those are all my faults. Those are my weaknesses. I bring them to the forefront. If I'm looking for forgiveness from others, or I expect as a believer for Jesus to forgive me for all the things that I do, all the disobeying that I do, then how can I not forgive others? How can I expect to be forgiven by others, be forgiven from my God? How can I expect that in return if I don't do it to others, if I don't forgive others? Be kind. Because when you're not, the universe will bring you karmic debt and you'll carry those moments around with you longer than you need to. So each day, learn how to react, be a strong witness to your thoughts, and get after the day and just embrace everything you have and be grateful. Grateful and having gratitude is such an amazing feeling in life, and it helps you realize how great life is. So just remember, life happens for us, and embrace those moments and be that leader and be that character that you admire.